Good evening. A Qantas flight has been forced to make an emergency landing at Adelaide Airport after a warning light indicated smoke in the cargo hold. Among the more than 200 passengers on board, the Central Coast Mariners soccer team on their way to play Perth Glory.
12:40 p.m, a mid-air emergency comes to an end on the runway of Adelaide Airport.
Do you have any indications of smoke on board, or is operations normal inside? No, we're normal.
Qantas flight 581 safely on the ground, allowing 253 relief passengers to disembark.
Probably a bit scared.
The plane left Sydney bound for Perth when a warning light indicated smoke was in the cargo hold. 500 kilometres west of Adelaide, the pilot announced he was turning around.
And there was a couple of announcements by the cabin crew saying that they'd been through a checklist and just to follow procedure we were going to make an emergency landing in Adelaide.
Shock, just annoyance, I guess, that we had to turn around back to Adelaide.
On the tarmac, emergency crews rushed to investigate the cause of the problem.
They were doing thermal imaging underneath to see if there was a heat spot.
Passengers given meal vouchers but very little information.
I would have expected to know whether we're going to change planes or whether we're going to go back on that.
The Central Coast Mariners A-League soccer team among those stranded.
We're the Mariners, we're used to disruption, so no problem at all. We'll get to Perth later tonight and our preparations won't be affected. It's just added a bit of excitement to the trip, I suppose.
The plane going nowhere this afternoon as Qantas investigated if a faulty warning light was to blame.
Live now to Ben Avery. And Ben, have passengers been able to board other planes?
Well, Brenton, there's good news for the Central Coast Mariners. They've been able to board another plane, as have around 50 other passengers. However, 150 other passengers remain stranded and they will now stay in Adelaide overnight. As for the plane, it has now been removed from the tarmac as investigations begin into what Qantas believes was a false alarm.
Thank you, Ben.